Hello, happy thinkers. It's Melissa Shim here with episode 12 of WTF, aka Wednesday Forum. And today's episode is about ways to get out of a bad mood. And so something personally happened to me yesterday, and it instantly put me in a bad mood. And I thought, if I need the refresher, then there are many others that could probably relate to me. So with that in mind, let me go ahead and start you off with my story. First of all, how many people have ever been in a bad mood? Everyone should be raising their hand or smiling or giggling right now, because everyone has. If you're normal, then you have been in a bad mood. So a little bit about my story was yesterday I received an email, and it was a very unprofessional email. It made me feel very embarrassed. And to top it off, there were a numerous crowd of important titles that were carbon copied on this email. So, and then, to top it all off, it wasn't even my fault. So it instantly put me in a bad mood. And because it put me in a bad mood, I lost focus on everything. I couldn't even tell you what time it was. Obviously, I forgot the day, or I wouldn't be shooting this today. I was just in a really bad mood. My husband even told me, like 15 minutes before WTF should have taken place, was, Melissa, it's Wednesday. And it just totally passed my mind because I was so upset. And I think I was more upset at myself because I let it get to me more than anything, more than the email itself. But anyways, once you find yourself in a bad mood, it never helps to stay in it. So if you can find ways to get out of that bad mood, that's exactly what you need to do. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So what actually causes a bad mood? I'm not talking about the email that I had, or I fell and tripped and hurt myself and then put me in a bad mood. I'm not talking about those kind of triggers. But what actually puts you in a bad mood is when you have a stress threshold and you've met it. So that's when the bad mood starts. So when you're in a bad mood, it could be a matter of anger or irritability. I know I have been very irritable with people and been in a bad mood. I don't even know why. It's just like every single thing that someone says or does is just irritating me. And it can be a matter of things, a bunch of stressors at the same time, maybe lack of sleep, a matter of different things. So everyone's different, is going to affect people differently. So what is the best ways to get out of a bad mood? I'm going to give you 5 ways, and I know I give you lists all the time. 5 ways to do this, and 10 tips to help you do this, and things of that nature. And these are just simply guidelines. These are some things that work for me, or maybe I've spoken with other people, and things have been working for them. I have 2 people online. Can I see some hearts, please? Anyways, so things are going to be different for different people, and so everyone's going to handle things differently and take things differently. So these are just examples to get your brain's juices flowing and maybe come up with some of your own ideas that work better for you. Again, these are just ones that I happen to use, or I've heard others use. So the first one is meditate. And we've heard of this one before in some of our passings, but sometimes you just need to take a moment and stop and breathe. They got the world coming at you from this way and this direction, and sometimes you just need to stop and take a deep breath and just relax for a moment, because life has been nonstop for 24/7. But when you meditate, it also puts you back on track to focus more. And then it also steers away from negative thoughts that you may have had. So sometimes I often, like yesterday, will go outside and just, when I say outside, no phone, no nothing, just go outside, observe listen, watch nature. It could be the sound of the wind, it could be the birds, or maybe watching the squirrels play, or whatever. But that's kind of my type of meditation. Some people may use apps for meditating. There are different apps out there. And then, water. A lot of people like water, and it's calming. So I also do that too. And just sometimes just taking a shower is nice. But find that calming method for you to just sit and meditate and not think about anything else, but just observe what's going on and live in the moment. Number 2 is rest. So yesterday I was so exhausted after just putting myself through torture with this over an email. I laugh about it now, but because it put me in a bad mood. So sometimes people just need to rest. And, I just wanted to get the day over because it seemed like everything was compounding on top of that. And I just wanted to go to bed and wake up to a brand new day. But we live in a culture where we need to get things done. But, sometimes those things do need to wait. And when I say rest, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have to go to sleep or take a nap, but it's just disconnecting. There are a lot of times in the evenings, my husband and I will just watch brainless TV after a long day just so that we can settle down for a moment. Number 3 is gratitude. Oh my gosh, here it is again. We have heard gratitude over and over and over in our different conversations about self-improvement. Remember, gratitude is the power to switch your mindset from negative to abundance and positivity. And again, you can find these in a lot of our WTF forums. You can also find, I have a blog and I do have an article on gratitude. It's at www.thankmefirst.com. I'm also putting these videos on my blog. Or miss any and you don't want to catch them on Facebook Live, you can go to my blog and there is a tab that's titled WTF. And what's different about those is if you want to touch on a particular episode that you missed, I do put words with that. So there's a nice outline at the beginning of each one. It'll tell you what it's about so you don't waste any time and you can go straight to the place where you want. So that's gratitude. And then number 4 is connect with your support system. Ding, 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 ding. We have talked about this many times before too. And I like to stress this one because I think it's very underrated, but on the flip side, it's very, very important that you have a positive support system. First thing I did when I received that email is I was very angry. I was to the point where I was about ready to cry because I was so angry. And I called one of my friends and talked to them, and there's 2 sides to every story, but she got mine. And then, but it's a self-awareness piece, and she kind of talked me out of it because a lot of times when we are able to talk about our feelings to our support system, this lessens the intensity of that. So again, that's very important as to why you need to talk to someone to calm yourself down. If you're just joining us, we are talking about ways to get, we are talking about ways to get out of a bad mood. So we are on number 4, and we just talked about connecting with your support system. So number 5, this is the last one, and number 5 is exercise. Geesh, have you heard that one before too? Yes, exercise. Again, it's very important, and it could be a simple walk, a jog. You may want to run a marathon. It's totally up to you. It's totally not my style. But any physical activity, gardening, anything like that. Again, the whole purpose of that is to get rid of any negative energy that you have. So my final thought before we leave is bad moods suck. We all know it. We all have them. But they happen. So, as I've said on numerous occasions, we are still responsible for the way that we feel about these and how we react to them. That gives you back the control you need to take over your mood. Nothing lasts forever, and nor does a bad mood. So one day you will look back on this moment and just laugh, like I did today. So if you like this material, again, you can go to my blog site. It is www.thankmefirst.com, and you can find more articles to read. And then you can also find all the WTF videos with verbiage. That way you can find any topic that you want. And then sign up for my email if you want some additional information. I give additional articles and tips, tricks, hacks to life. So feel free to sign up there. And until then, thank me first, and all you happy thinkers, have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.